What up, what up, what up, what up, what's good, what is good, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Georgia Sports Central, IE Sports Radio, your feed for all things that are sports. What is good, got a lot to cover this week. Obviously, the weekend was saved, y'all. Weekend was saved. Georgia went down, right? You know what I'm saying? Falcons went down, right? So we need somebody to save this weekend. We got some love from Atlanta United and Georgia Tech. And the Hawks came through last night, man. Hawks came through to redeem a weekend that could have been disastrous for Georgia sports fans. But here we are. We'll cover all of that. Again, Falcons went down to New Orleans, got clapped up. Georgia went to Ole Miss, got clapped up. But Georgia Tech at home was able to handle business against Miami. So many Atlanta United. They weren't at home, but, you know, they traveled down to Miami. So got that stuff in as well. All that and more hitting y'all in just a bit. What up, what's good, what is good? Welcome back again. Like I said again, Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports. My name is ACS, and what's good, y'all? What's good? Welcome back. A lot of things have transpired since last week. Obviously, it's football season, so things be happening. And again, I have to shout out to Atlanta United and Georgia Tech for sort of saving the weekend, man, for Georgia fans, for Georgia sports fans in general, because it's almost bad, man. It's almost bad. Y'all saw what happened in Ole Miss. Saw what happened in New Orleans, right? Georgia teams on the road looking bad, man. Looking bad. So we're gonna talk about those things. Obviously, with a little bit of Braves news, not much. As you know, it's in the hot season. We hadn't hit the hot stove, the winter meetings yet, so there's not a lot of information there. Couple things though, personnel wise, when it comes to the Braves. One beloved player is hitting the road, heading over to the Angels or whatever. So we'll talk about that as well. But real quick, y'all, real quick, man. I just want to ask y'all, how y'all feel about a Chiefs three-peat, right? A Chiefs, right? I like to pose, just some hypothetical sports questions at the beginning of the show to ask the audience what they think about certain things. And when it comes to uh the Chiefs, who won back-to-back Super Bowls, are looking to try to get a third one. Obviously, had a miraculous win the other day. A blocked field goal to win, bro. A blocked field goal to win, right? Right, and that's sort of off the topic of Georgia sports. But the question for you guys is, how do y'all feel about a Chiefs three-peat? I'm gonna tell y'all right now, as a fan of other teams in the NFL, no. The reason why I asked that is because it came up on as a topic on other things this past week, and it was sort of one of the things where I'm like, the competition in the NFL. I'm a big fan of football, right? Big fan of football. That's my favorite sport. College, professional, whatever you have it. That's I love football, man, and I do love professional football. And there's just too many coaches, good coaching staffs, good schemes, good playbooks, good players out there where I sit here and think to myself, how in the hell can a team win 3 Super Bowls? It's hard to win one because there's the franchises out there who have a Super Bowl, right? And it's definitely hard to win 2 in a row, right? Not hard to win. It's hard to win 2, but 2 in a row is even harder, right? And we've seen it the last couple of years. We've also seen it before when it comes to, just think about the Packers, which was fire, right? Beat the Patriots. Next year, go against the Broncos. You're thinking same team, same fire squad. No, Broncos won. And the Broncos won 2 in a row, right? But it's very rare. So when I ask the question, how do you guys feel about a sort of a Chiefs three-peat? What I mean when I ask you that is, what's that mean for the game, man? Because I refuse, man. I refuse to believe with the great coaches we have in this sport and the great teams and players that a team can win 3 straight Super Bowls, man. Like, seriously. And it's looking pretty. I tell you like this. I feel as though everyone else who's not a Chiefs fan should think that is terrible for the sport. They can think it's right. The NFL probably think it's good. 3 straight Super Bowls with Taylor Swift on the side of the picture, like, hey, with the 3 up, like 3 rings or whatever. That's probably what they're looking for. But let me ask you, sports-wise, football-wise, for the sport, is that good for it? Because I'm going to tell you, man, you can't tell me that the competition in the National Football League is not good enough to keep a team from winning 3 straight Super Bowls. Now, we've all seen the officiating calls and all of that kind of extra shit that comes with it. But, if you've been watching me for a minute, I like to open with a question. That's the question. How y'all feel about that, man? A three-peat. I feel like if that happens, then that means the level of competition in the National Football League is minuscule at best. There's no way. There's no way, dude. It's too hard to win 2. 3? We'll see what transpires in the second half of this season. But I just want to ask y'all because personally for me, I'm thinking to myself, there's no way in hell that out of all 32 teams, the competition is that low where like one team can win 3 straight rings, bruh. And now you got it. There's some officiating in there and there's some luck. The guarantee you can't do that without luck. But I refuse to believe that's a possibility. I'm sorry, y'all. I refuse to believe that a team can win the Super Bowl 3 times in a row in the NFL. And if it happens, I'm telling y'all, this is 1,000% true because I like to keep it real with y'all. I'm telling y'all, if I'm telling y'all, they win 3 straight Super Bowls, we have a problem competition-wise in this league. There's no way in hell. There's no way. There's just no way. I mean, shit, even players in the league themselves that own a good team should have a, hey, what's up, Larry? Appreciate you, son. Hey, again, I don't think I apologize for the show being 10 minutes late to stream, y'all. Y'all gave me some issues with getting live or whatever. But yeah, no, but seriously, like, there's a lot out there. And if this happens, if it does, if in February, mid-February, we're sitting there thinking, damn, the Kansas City Chiefs just won 3 straight Super Bowls, man, I'm a little heartbroken at that, man. I am, and I guarantee you. But football fans in general should be. When something like that happens, that shouldn't be celebrated, man. That means the level of competition and sort of things in this league have gone awry. There's no way in hell with 32 professional football teams, and yes, there are some that are a lot better than others. There are some that are not good at all. We got all that. But there's no way in hell a team should be able to win 3 straight Super Bowls in this league with free agency and all of the other stuff, man. Hey, was that the coach probably coming? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But 2 is hard. 2 is hard. 3? But here's the thing. The Patriots came close, right? But they didn't get there because the level of competition, man. The players in the NFL say, okay, not on my watch. Not on my watch. And let's see if that happens, man, because I'm going to tell you, man, I thought about that this weekend as I saw the Chiefs beat the Denver Broncos with a blocked field goal. Not a field goal, mind you. They are getting those things that you sit there and say, this is a season of destiny. Nah, man. No. I refuse it. I refuse to believe it, man. There's something wrong with this sport if a team wins 3 straight Super Bowls. There's just too many. And again, before I move on, there's just too many great players, too many great coaches, just too much greatness in the National Football League for a team to be able to win 3 straight Super Bowls. So what that means is somebody step up. Somebody take these cats out. Somebody and both yeah, man. That's exactly the same. Matter of fact, the early Pats Super Bowls were all by 3 points, which was I like that though. See, I like to see sort of that sort of thing where it's like, yes, they're the great Pats, but when they get into big games against stellar competition, they only win by 3 points, man. I like to see it when it goes like that. So yeah, Pats won by field goals, man. Great point. What's up, Ralph? Good morning. Hey, man, appreciate you. Again, apologies for the show starting just a little bit late. StreamYard is giving me issues. So, yeah, I always like to jump in and sort of ask a question at the beginning. And, again, we're about to take a quick break. And, yes, Atlanta United and Georgia Tech. Before we take a break, after the break, I'm going to go in depth about how the Atlanta United and Georgia Tech and the Hawks on the back end, so to say, the Georgia sports fans weekend. Because I'm going to tell y'all, it was insane. It was insane, and if you saw it, you know what it is. But yeah, so again, we're going to take a quick break, and we shall be back.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, eSports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps. for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, what is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome back to Georgia Sports Central, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your boy ACS, and let's jump straight into it. So, I told you guys the past couple weeks, I'm not the biggest soccer guy, right? I'm an Atlanta United fan, obviously, but as far as learned some surprising things, I said I was going to dig deep into the soccer stuff to get back into sort of because the United's in the playoffs. And boy, did they represent on Saturday, y'all. Represent on Saturday. Beat Inter Miami. Put them out of the playoffs. Messi and the boys, right? You hear the word Messi. You hear the name Messi. You're thinking, you know what that dude brings to the table, right? So Atlanta was able to sort of go down to Atlanta after they tied the series up, 3-game series, tied it up at one apiece. They were able to go down there and handle business 3-2 over Inter Miami, man, and clinch a first-round upset. So couple things as I let me see what's going on here. Yeah, man, put him out of there. Put him out of there, which was dope. It was good to see again. Sort of like one thing that I did learn though. So I'm sort of looking at the soccer stuff. If you check it out, man, look, United didn't have a good season, man. They had a pretty a mid-season. So look, soccer is crazy. The Major League Soccer standings and all of that shit is insane. Their playoffs last a long time, bro. So I went to looking. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you see them win on Saturday. You see Atlanta United win. He's like, when's the next game? November 24th, y'all. What? I have never seen sports in a fashion where when you get to the playoffs, there's weeks in between, which is again. Yo, your boy is fresh. I'm still wet behind the ears when it comes to the soccer shits. I guarantee I'll get it down. But yeah, man. So United, they went to Miami, knocked off Messi and the boys. You don't see much out there about Atlanta United. What you see is what went wrong with Inter Miami, which is give my boys some props, man. They went down there and handled some business, man. Right? You know what I'm saying? Also, I see where our goalkeeper might be considered for the sexiest man alive, which is also insane. Lionel Messi's first trip to the MLS postseason ended abruptly on Saturday as midfielder Bartosz Sliz headed in the game winner for Atlanta United in a staggering 3-2 upset over Inter Miami in round 1, which is nice, man. Which is nice. Get a shot right there, Messi. So 3-2 over them. Yeah, and it's insane. Look, the playoffs are crazy, man. Gotta be Atlanta, we beat. Hey. The possibilities are endless, but there you go. Again, the most shocking part is for me, and I know I'm late to the party when it comes to sort of Major League Soccer and the standings and things of that nature. The breaks in the playoffs, man. Man, we beat Miami on Saturday, and it's like we won't play another game until November 24th against Orlando. So we'll see what happens there. Just wanted to shout out to the United. Oh man, I forgot to put up my your boy. Yeah, hey, I stepped out and sort of got myself prepared for the show, whatever. So yes, Atlanta United. Forgot to throw up the graphic. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. 2 weeks to prepare. Which, if I'm being honest, I'm not surprised as far as the actual sport goes, because soccer, them cats be running, man. I can understand some breaks. There's a reason why football is only played once a week, right? American football with the pads and such, because it is grueling on the body. There's a lot that goes on there. So there's no way in hell you could play like an NBA team where you're playing back-to-backs and, Monday nights and two. You can't do that. It's just impossible. Your body would never survive a season. Same thing with baseball. They play 160-some games. Like, you can do that when it comes to baseball because, again, it's baseball. It's not as grueling on your body. So soccer, yeah. In times when I've attempted in my life to play soccer, your boy be dead. So yes, I got it. So maybe that's what figures into this is the amount of energy spent in a soccer game. But just full transparency, as I try to keep it real with you guys, I just now found out that the Major League Soccer playoffs are like mad long, bro. Mad long. It says Wednesday, October 23rd until Saturday, December 7th. What sport has playoffs that last 2 months, man? So, yeah. December 7th is when I guess we'll get our MLS champion. But in the meantime, shouts out to Atlanta United. Doing your thing. You knew it then because it was late Saturday. So you already knew what was going on there. But yeah, shouts out to them because the weekend for Georgia sports could have been absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So with that being said, let's move on to football, man. Falcons, bro. And by the way, not to mention y'all are watching Georgia Sports Central, brought to you by IE Sports Radio, your feed for all things that are sports. And as we on Georgia Sports Central move on, let's move on to the Falcons, man. Falcons. Man, let me tell y'all something. Atlanta fans, you can't go to New Orleans and march in their streets and stomp on their grounds and stomp on their concrete, on their pavement. You can't go down Bourbon Street with flags and emblems and symbols and things of that nature talking about dirty birds and we doing our thing. You can't do that and get clapped up. You just can't. If you guys watch the game on Sunday, nah, man. Hey, I feel you 1,000. You talking about death? you ain't no, man. You talking about you talking about 2-game season. If football played sort of and they tried to get on the level of baseball when it comes to how many games are scheduled in the regular season, you're talking about death for players, bro. There's just no way that can happen. You know way that. But moving back to the Falcons again, Atlanta Falcons, man. Let me tell you something. Fans, don't go down there. Don't go to New Orleans because you're up in the division. Probably could have wrapped the division up pretty close with this win right here because all you would have needed was one more game against the Panthers and you were done with division play for the season when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons, right? Early. Love to be done with division play or close to it with this at this point in the season. But don't go down there, man. Don't go down there. We're pounding on your chest and you lose and you let the Saints clap you up. So final score 2017 Saints over the Falcons. Hey man, they were stomping in the streets, man. You can't. Not too early, bro. Too early. But yeah, Falcons lose to the Saints 2017, right? Falcons they're still good. 6-3 or 6-4. Sort of in the division, they've only lost 1 game so far this season. So, like I said, it still bodes well for them Kirk Cousins, 23 of 38, 306 yards, 1 interception. He had a couple fumbles as well, which were both recovered by the offense, which is insane. And then Derek Carr for the Saints had 2 touchdown passes, 269 yards, 16 and 25. I think I think the big difference in this game, you're gonna look at the 2 fumbles for the Falcons. Even though they were recovered by the Falcons, they sort of put them in bad time, especially that last one. The second one, real late in the fourth quarter, put them to the point where they had to punt the ball away, right? So that's not going to work either, right? That's not going to work, man. I just think at some point in time, as the Falcons go through this season, just win your games, right? Talk a little stuff and move on, man. Some of these teams, man, you win a few games, just, hey, chill, bruh. There's a lot of the season left. There's a very big deal of the season left. So, yeah, 17-20. Couple other things. Younghoe Koo. I think this was the biggest difference in the game. Younghoe Koo missed 3 field goals. He was 1 for 4 out of field goals. And obviously, you know, if you saw any video after the game, Arthur Blank, the owner for the Falcons, came up, gave him a hug, sort of walked him off the field, telling him, hey, man, give him some words of inspiration because Younghoe was sort of like, this is my fault. And look, he missed 3 field goals, which he almost never does. But I'm not going to say this was 1,000% on him as a team. The Saints have been struggling all season long to sort of do things, right? The 2 games they were good, they had Carr, and I know Carr was back, but he came back last week too. And then, so it's a rough one, man. It's a rough one. Drake London had 8 receptions for 97 yards, no touchdowns. Darnell Mooney, who also continues to be fired this season, 96 receiving yards. Pitts, 4 receptions, 55 yards. None of them cats had a touchdown. You have Bijan Robinson with 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 made field goal, which sort of gave us the 17 points. But again, we lost to the Saints 2017. Scanlon, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, you know, the former Packer, played for the Chiefs last year, got himself a ring. Comes to the Falcons, caught 2 touchdown passes, and that was pretty much, you know, with 2 field goals there, sort of down the stretch to get the Saints to dub. But again, man, Falcons, look, you don't have many games that you clinch the division, and then you start doing some of this crazy shit, right? Clinch the division, know you got yourselves a home playoff game, and then do all this other stuff. Let's see what you got, man. Then we'll see what you got. Let's see what you got for the rest of the schedule. Maybe you get yourself more than 1 home playoff game. You know, some of those types of things. But win the division first. Win the division first. It was a tough game too, and I can tell the Saints were up for this one as well because of the way that the Falcons beat them the first time around. So they were up as well too. So I can't just sit there and say like the Saints just laid down. The Falcons just didn't take advantage of the opportunity to bid. They played well too. They played well. So let's see what happens with that. But the Falcons are still first in the NFC South. They're pulling up the Mile High to play the 5-5 Broncos this weekend. NFC South records: Falcons 6-4, Buccaneers 4-6, Saints 3-7. And Panthers, shouts out to the Panthers, got their second. Bryce Young got his first 2 dubs in a row. That's cool to see for the young kid, right? But the Panthers are just like the Saints, 3-7. So, yeah, there's that. And so, yes, you're listening to Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Network, IE Sports Radio. My apologies, and it's your direct feed for all things that are sports. We shall return in just a bit. Take a quick break. We'll be right back with some Georgia Bulldogs talk.
Hey, Cleveland and Columbus sports fans. This is Jen D, host of the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. If you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in live to the Show of the Land on Tuesdays, where we will cover the Cleveland Browns, Cavs, Guardians, and Monsters. We will also talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets, Crew, Fury, and of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll also cover other colleges in the area like Akron, Kent State, Cleveland State, Mount Union, John Carroll, Baldwin Wallace, Youngstown State, among others. So like I said, if you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in Tuesdays to the Show of the Land with Jen B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Rate, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. We're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, y'all. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Welcome back. Welcome back to Georgia Sports Central, brought to you by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things out of sports. It's your boy ACS, and let's continue on, man. We talked about the Braves. We talked about the Atlanta United sort of saving the weekend, in part. We got someone to give a shout out to. But as we move on, let's talk about the Atlanta Braves, y'all. Let's talk about the Braves. Obviously, not that much news. And again, we haven't hit that point in time at sort of winter meetings when we get a lot of information that comes out of there and such. And then that leads into spring training when it comes to the hot stove league and things of that nature. But talk about the Braves, a couple things. Obviously, the Braves today, this is a couple days ago, I sort of sent myself notes to talk about. This was on November 4th. This is earlier. This is a Braves today exercise. DH, designated hitter Marcell Ozuna's option for the 2025 season declined options on right-hand pitcher Luke Jackson and catcher Travis d'Arnaud. So Travis d'Arnaud is out of there. That's probably the biggest news that is sort of he put something out there, and I'll read it to you real quick. d'Arnaud was on. This is him on Instagram. Travis d'Arnaud. He says, "Atlanta, thank you for everything. Ever since my brother played here, you have been amazing to me and my family." Excuse me. I feel like I was not only part of the team, but part of the city. Thank you to all the fans, the coaches, the staff, and most importantly, the players. I made a lot of lifelong friendships and hope for nothing but the best always. Every one of y'all made driving to the field feel like a blessing. I will be forever grateful for everything. World champs for life. So that's from Travis d'Arnaud. Let's see. Let me see if I can. Let's see. Let's see if I can get this thing up here. I kind of want to bring it up here, get y'all, let everybody get sort of a look at what this right here says, because it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Okay, here we go. I'll try to get this pulled up real quick. Not to try to get anything. This is all just d'Arnaud. So just cover me up. So this is the message from Travis d'Arnaud when it came to him leaving the Atlanta Braves. So this is everything I just read. This one tell you was a cool ass piece that I just wanted to pull up because I think it's incredible. It's just a dope thing. So and with the Braves, that's probably the pretty much the biggest news, obviously. And again. We've got more stuff coming. It's the off season, and it's kind of the wheels are still churning and things of that nature. And again, we won't get to some of that stuff until the winter meetings, and we get to see what kind of changes are made to personnel and things when it comes to the Braves. So I always want to bring them up every week just because if there's any news pertinent to bring them up, just to mention them in the show, because I know once next season gets here, it's gonna be a big deal, man. It's gonna be a big deal. So there's that. So let's move on. All right, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, time to start talking about Georgia Bulldogs. I've had some displeasure this season, even in victories, and I've said them on this show when I've had the opportunity, and I've said them on other shows that I do, sports shows, instant replay if you're inclined to watch. I'll talk about that toward the end. But Georgia hasn't been up to fest this season. There's been a lot of stuff that have obviously the first chink in the armor was the loss to Alabama earlier. And then we sort of bounced back, had a couple of tough games, but still pulled out the dub, right? Until we get to this weekend. No secret there that hold on, let me get this. Hold up. Here we go. No secret that Georgia lost to Ole Miss 28-10. Literally got our cheeks clapped. That's not, when you're talking about a team on Georgia's caliber, when you lose to a team 28-10, that's not one of these. And not that, no hate to Ole Miss, but Ole Miss hasn't traditionally been a powerhouse when it comes to just sort of football teams in college, right? When it's not one of those and you lose 28-10 and you're the number 3 ranked team in the country with only one loss and aspirations to win your 3rd national championship in the last 5 seasons, or 4 seasons, let me tell you something. You got to do better than that, man. You got to do better than that, right? So back in the interceptions, I've been talking about those for weeks. They finally caught up to him. He had a couple in this game. Didn't bode well for him, right? Let's take a look at the stats, man. Let's take a look at the stats real quick. Stats for hold on. Where is it at? Oops. That started. Let's see. Carson Beck, 20 for 31. 186 yards and a pick, right? Only had one. Dart for the Ole Miss, 13 for 22, 199 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. Now, we saw at the beginning of the game, Dart sort of got hurt through a pick. Georgia had the short field, and that's their only touchdown of the game was because they got the ball in the red zone. Other than that, they couldn't get back to the goal line again for the entire game. Had one field goal, which made it 10 points. Ole Miss made it to the end zone a couple times, got themselves a lot of field goals, but they did what they needed to do to beat a top 5 opponent. They were ranked number 18 at this point. Now they're ranked closer to that stats. And look, I think this is where we see, this is where we're going to see a sort of with the yeah, man. You gotta do better than that, man. I think this is where we see what's transpired in college football over the past 5, 6, 7 seasons. I say 8, maybe. Right? So normally a normal thing would be I'll just use Alabama because they've probably been the winningest program, out there, even though it's a rival. And I hate to give them some props, but the perfect example. Alabama win the national title. They lose 10 to 20 players to the NFL. And then the next season, they might not be directly back. They'll be in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Only lose 1 game, maybe 2. But they're right back there, right? I think now, what we've reached now is where the transfer portal and these teams that lose multiple players to the NFL draft every season sort of collide, right? Georgia has, for the past few seasons, obviously when you win when you win back-to-back national titles, you're losing some players. The NFL comes a calling for some of that talent, right? So you lose players, right? And before, like I mentioned with Alabama, it wasn't that hard. You lose 10, 15 players to the draft, you can regroup, you can get back there. But now, see, it's a little bit different because you don't just lose players to the draft. You also lose players to the transfer portal. And they mentioned it several times on the broadcast between Georgia and Ole Miss that Ole Miss's defensive line, pretty much the entire defense was transfer cats, right? Cats there to make a mark. Cats there who maybe couldn't move their draft status on another squad, came to this squad, maybe they moved their draft status, right? So you can see what I'm getting at now. So after a while, this makes no excuses for Georgia. You got to play better. There's no way in hell you go to Ole Miss and get clapped like that. I can understand a 28-25 loss, but 28-10? No touchdowns since the first quarter? What? Yeah, so no excuses for Georgia. But I think we've reached a point when it comes to college football where those two things, players leaving for the draft here and transfer portal here, have met and sort of collided in a thing where I think the dominant team in college football is might be leaving us in the next few seasons. It just might. Look at the and I'm about to talk about it real quick, man. College football. Let's bring this up real quick. Let's see if I can get this up here. This is all right. So what we got here is the college football playoff rankings, right? That just came out yesterday evening. All right, right. Oregon undefeated. Ohio State got a loss. Most of these teams after Oregon got losses, right? Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Indiana, BYU, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Miami, Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, Boise State, right? Right. Look at this though. So this is if the season was to end after this weekend. If the season ended and we're looking at the playoff rankings because of the change, yes, it went from 4 to 12 teams, but just because you're in the top 12 doesn't mean you make the playoff, because the first 4 spots are reserved for the top top 4 conference winning champions, right? So you got Texas, which is looking BYU, Oregon, Miami, right? And the rest of these are played out with different rules than before. So just because Georgia is ranked number 12 in the regular CFP rankings, the top 25, that don't mean they make the playoff, y'all. That don't mean they make the playoff if the season ended today. This is why Georgia you got to get it in gear, man. You got to get it in gear. You can't be messing around here. We have a game this weekend against Tennessee, which if you look on the screen right there, are ranked number 7. Now, there might be some good fortune here and sort of just some whispers that I just heard, and it might be out there now. I do not know. But I think Tennessee's starting quarterback has a major concussion and might not play this Saturday. In which case, if he doesn't, and Georgia has the opportunity, as much as I'm not a fan of running up the score, in this case, you need to do it. In this case, Georgia, if Tennessee is vulnerable in that number 7 spot this weekend when we play them at 7:30 p.m. in Georgia, Saturday night, we need to score 70 on them. We need to. I'm telling you right now, look where we at. Again, I'll bring this back up again. We ain't even making the playoff if the season ended today. We ain't even making the playoff. If the opportunity is there Saturday, and I'm not saying it will be. I'm not saying it will, but if the opportunity is there Saturday to score a bunch of points, then we need to hold nothing back. We can't afford to miss a playoff. With a team like Georgia's, can't afford to miss a playoff, man. Milton will play Woodstock and Carrollton will play the. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. First of all, hey man, Carrollton. Hey, Carrollton's close, bro. Carrollton is like right around me where Nick Chubb played, and then just like Cartersville is also in this triangle with Carrollton. And if you don't know, Cartersville High School is where Trevor Lawrence played football, ladies and gentlemen, which is 40 minutes from the house, right? I'll never forget seeing. This is a little bit off topic. I'll never forget seeing high school football footage from Cartersville and being like, "Yo, that looks like a real quarterback playing football. Like his posture, the way he stands in the pocket, the way he throws the football." And ladies and gentlemen, he went to Clemson, and then he plays in the National Football League. So yes, I have seen Trevor Lawrence sort of play in Cartersville. Yeah, so that's Woodstock. Woo! Ain't been to Woodstock in a minute, man. So yeah, this is some high school stuff from Larry. Appreciate you. But yeah, so again, Georgia, you got the opportunity this weekend. You need to handle business. Rounding it out, Boise State 13, SMU, Texas A&M, Kansas State, Colorado, Washington State, Louisville, Clemson, South Carolina, LSU, Missouri, Army, and Tulane. And one more reminder, got to handle business, man, because if the season ended this weekend, Georgia's not even making it. They ain't even making a playoff, man. They need to get it together. Indeed, they do. So yeah, man. Look. and rough. But now that we've seen it in with my person. Also, one more thing too that I do want to mention. Pull this back down real quick. Is we'll see what happens when it comes to sort of the rankings because I think and anybody who's heard me say this sort of thinks about it a second. They're like, okay, I kind of feel you to a certain extent. I think a few years ago. Obviously, when it comes to national titles, Georgia beat Alabama for one, and in the next season, I was at the game against Ohio State. Ohio State misses the field goal. Georgia wins, which is insane. I like to say that I almost needed to be resuscitated after watching that live in person. That shit was crazy. But then after that, Georgia played TCU. We know the score was like 63-7, 64-7, 60. I can't remember exactly what the score was, but it was bad, right? And after that game, I thought to myself, I was like, man, Kirby held nothing back. He wanted to leave no doubt that Georgia was the best team. I also thought the committee going to make you pay for that, bro. Because when it comes to national championship games, there's sponsorships, there's all this money that goes around, there's commercials. TCU is the worst watched national title game in the history of college football. It literally is. People were tuning out midway through the second quarter. Think about how much money was lost, how much. And one thing that I've sort of thought about since the college football playoff has come into existence, the committee don't like to look like fools. So by them putting TCU in there, and obviously TCU did their work the first round because they beat Michigan. I just think Michigan came down there to TCU and just thought that they was going to run through that game and didn't put any effort into it, which is why they got caught slipping, right? So you beat TCU like that. The next season, Georgia is ranked pretty much number one the entire season. The only loss we have is against Alabama in the SEC championship game. We dropped from number one to number 6. Missed the playoff entirely. And when that happened, I said, again, the committee ain't forgot about that, bro. They don't like to look like fools. And when they put TCU in there, obviously they beat Michigan. They were feeling good about themselves. When Georgia comes in and beats TCU 60-something to 7, I think committee was like, hey, F you, Georgia. Why you do that? Why you mess up all of this? And then look, I'm a Georgia fan, and I still think this way. Like, I thought this way immediately the next day after that happened, when Georgia went from number 1 to number 6 and missed the playoff entirely. I'm like, really? A team that was number 1 the entire season, undefeated, loses one game against Alabama, mind you, and we ain't good enough to play in the playoff? Y'all mad at Kirby. And I got it. Kirby ran the score up against TCU. Again, a lot of money was probably lost when it comes to commercials and things like that. But nobody was watching that game except for Georgia fans after the first half. Nobody. And Georgia fans, I guarantee you, weren't seeing some website in the commercial and going on there and buying something. They just weren't. They were just happy to be Georgia fans, and Georgia was dominating. So that brings it. The only reason I bring that up is because the next game I'm gonna talk about when it comes to Georgia Tech. So the Georgia Tech, they beat Miami. So Miami's number 4. They get beat by unranked Georgia Tech. They fall 5 spots. That's it. Georgia, ranked number 3 in the nation, gets beat by Ole Miss, who is ranked. We fall all the way to number 12. Again, make it make sense. They still mad at Kirby, bro. They still mad at Kirby. And with that being said, shouts out, man. Shouts out to Georgia Tech, son. I didn't think they had a chance in hell to beat the Miami, who was putting up points in bunches. Quarterback was playing nice. Everybody was, hey, man. And again, as I bring this up, still, Georgia Tech still ain't ranked, even after this, right? But, hey, man, one of the redeeming things from this weekend when it comes to Georgia sports falling down, Georgia Tech has had a season, bro. You know what I'm saying? Beat FSU, which we found that FSU was not that extravagant. Beat Georgia State, lost to Syracuse, beat VMI, lost to Louisville, beat Duke, beat North Carolina, lost to Notre Dame, lost to Virginia Tech. Then they beat Miami, the highest ranked team that they played so far on their schedule, right? They've clapped them, bro. And I think Florida State was ranked a little bit higher than 10 at the beginning of the season when they played them. 2023, man. Look, I'm about to check out some of these statistics, man, because they ran the ball all over them, right? Ran the ball all over them, and let me get these things. Oh shoot, they apologize for that. Oops. Let's see, team stats. We'll take a look at that right now. As far as first downs, Miami won that thing 23-18. Passing yards, 348 for Miami, only 99 for Georgia Tech. Rushing yards, though, is where the game was made. Georgia Tech's that rushing team. Rushing yards, 88 for Miami, 271 for Georgia Tech. Turnovers, 1 for Miami, none for Georgia Tech. Look, Georgia Tech just stayed the course, man. They played against a team that people are talking about being, national championship sort of capabilities right there. Go Tech. Miami's played cupcakes. hey, yeah. Hey, I got you on that. They've had a couple of them. They had some teams. They've had some. Matter of fact, I'll take a look at that just a second as we move on. But Georgia Tech played a game. They say, hey man, we'll bring you. Welcome to Atlanta, right? They invited Miami into their homes, and Brent Key, coach for Georgia Tech, man. Brad Bryant, coach of the week. Stats, ACC standings. Let me get back to these standings real quick as we look at those. SMU at number 1, 5-0, 8-1 overall. They're the only undefeated team in the ACC. Clemson at number 2, 6-1, 7-2 overall. Miami 5-1, 9-1 overall. Louisville 4-2, 6-3 overall. Pittsburgh is 3-2 in the conference, 7-2 overall. And Georgia Tech down there in what is that? The 6th spot in ACC, 4-3, 6-4 overall. Good win, man. Good win. Shouts out to the kids playing for Tech, man. Shouts out. That's a good win, man. Got Miami coming in there, expecting it to sort of come in there and do. And look. Game was kind of close. The score game was kind of close in some instances. They just couldn't stop they couldn't stop Georgia Tech from running their football, man. Which is what Tech is known for, honestly, man. If you're gonna go to that thing though, so yeah, man. Looking good. Georgia Tech looking good, man. I again not ranked. Come on, you beat number 4. You can't jump up in the rankings, man. Come on, Georgia Tech. They be playing from behind, man. So Georgia Tech has a bye week, and they'll play NC State on November 21st. Just a couple weeks, not this weekend, but next. I think it's next Wednesday or Thursday is when the 21st is. If I have that date correct, in fact, let me check, man, because that got me a little squirrely because the 21st I think is a Wednesday. Let's see. Yeah, we play NC State on November 21st at 7:30 p.m. So night game, obviously. And they're playing good. Which again, when it comes to Georgia, right? When it comes to Georgia, hey man, don't let Tech get y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Georgia fan. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see Tech getting Georgia at the end of the season. Playing well in Georgia, as I've already mentioned in this show, has not been playing to the best of their abilities. So they need to step that shit up. That's for real, like literally. Because I have a feeling, if Georgia Tech beats NC State, they coming for the crown. They coming for the Georgia crown in a couple weeks. So Georgia better be ready for that. That's all I know. That's all I know. And again, as I was talking about Georgia, when I talk about Georgia, Tennessee, man, Tennessee, bro. I don't even know how I forgot that. Tennessee. That's the biggest. That's the only thing we got left. That's what we got left to put us back in that conversation. And again, they be penalizing us hardcore, man. I don't see other teams getting penalized to the level that Georgia does, dude. We dropped 9 slots. We were in number 3. Now we're number 12. Miami got beat by an unranked team. Unranked. They weren't even ranked as high as we were. And they only fall to number 9? Come on, man. Come on, y'all. Right? Come on. So we'll see what happens with that stuff, man. When it comes to that. And one last thing before we sort of roll out of here. Talk about the Hawks, man. Gotta talk about the Atlanta Hawks, y'all. The Atlanta Hawks, the season is okay, right? They're still not working with the best, but they beat the defending world champion Boston Celtics last night by a point. Dyson Daniels scores career high 28 points. Jalen Johnson has triple-double. And the Hawks, without Trae Young, beat the Celtics. Good game. Let's see if I can get some stats here for that thing right there. Okongwu tips it in. If you watch the game, you know that they shot. It was a nice mid-range jumper that sort of rolled off the rim. Okongwu gets it, tips it back in for the score, which leaves about 4 seconds left on the clock. And, of course, the Celtics second timeout, they inbound the pass, and it doesn't go down for them. So, yeah, man, let's see. Let's find this Hawks game right here. Here we go. So, yeah, the Hawks beat the Celtics 117-116. Now, that's not, they lost 125-113 to the Bulls on Saturday, and the Bulls are kind of sitting in the same boat they are as far as record-wise goes. The Hawks are 5-7, just a little bit under 500. And in this game right here, let's see, Daniels, 28 points. Jaylen Brown for the Celtics, 37 points. Derek White, 36 rebounds. Jason Tatum, 8 points. Let's see, full box score. Let's look at it here. Rashad Shea had 25 minutes. Let's see, 8 points, 18 points for Johnson. Capella had 18 points for the Hawks. You see Nance Jr. With 19. That's 15 for Okongwu coming off the bench. Tatum with 20 points. Horford with 8. Holiday with 8 for the Celtics. And Derek White with 31 points. Jaylen Brown with 37 points. Derek White becoming that dude. Yeah, I remember when that dude used to go on the bench in the playoffs when you used to watch a bunch of playoff games. Hey, man, they doing the thing. Love to see it. And again, let's see what they got. Not much bench scoring, 12 points off the bench for the Celtics, which might have lent itself to that. And again, like Jaylen Brown, Derek White in the 30s, Jason Tatum with 20 points. It looks like it may have been a little struggle shooting game, but I don't give a damn. That's not an excuse. You shoot what you shoot. The Hawks came in there and beat them 117-116, bro. Good to see. And that's without some stars, man. That's without some stars. Obviously, if you look at the let's see if we can find the injuries for the team right here. Couple players injured. Like I said, Trae Young is dealing with an injury right now. He didn't play in the game as well. So, hey, that's what it is, man. Look. Dyson Daniels, youngest player with 6+ steals in 3 straight games. That shit's insane. The Hawks have the Wizards. Wizards are pulling up. That's to be the 3rd game against the Wizards this season. The Hawks, they got the Wizards pulling up to Atlanta on Friday, 7:30 p.m. I think is what the score is going to be. Or not the score, but I think it's what the time for tip-off is. It's going to be 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So you got that right there. And yeah, man, that's pretty much the show, y'all. Look, I try to tell I promise I'm learning more about soccer, getting more into the soccer. Like I knew the generalistics of soccer, but when it comes to stuff like finding out that their playoffs last like 3 months. Again, if y'all didn't hear that, I mentioned that earlier, man. The MLS, Major League Soccer, the American League playoffs, they last from October 23rd to December 7th, bro. That's a long time for a playoffs, man. That's a long time. And considering that they're you know what I'm saying, like, and I got it because of the athletic strain that shit has to put on the bodies of some of those players. So it is that. And yeah, man, look, so hopefully, again, like I said, Falcons, they got to bounce back, man. Falcons got to do their thing. They're playing against the Broncos this week. They got to go to Mile High, so obviously they're going from south to north in the mountains. Elevation is going to change. It's going to be a tough game for them, but I think the Falcons can pull it out. College football, Georgia, man, Tennessee this weekend. Big game. This is all that matters for Georgia right now. Because of what I pulled up earlier, where they're not even in the playoff race right now when it comes to the 12 teams that are in there. They're not even there. So Georgia's got it. For the rest of the season, they can't catch any more L's. They got to go with that. And of course, Georgia Tech, a couple weeks before they got the next game. I just mentioned that as well. And the Hawks, man, got to do their thing. So, again, I appreciate everybody who watches. Appreciate y'all. And sports, man, look. Before I leave, I got just one last thing. I gotta send shouts out to Larry. Shouts out Larry for bringing me in to be a part of this thing. I met some people here. It's kind of hard for me to keep track with everything, but I'm trying my best. And obviously, we all love sports, man. We all love sports. So I hope everybody watches safely and sort of engages in a way that helps the sports out, right? Don't take anything away from the sport. So I hope everybody agrees. Well, no, nobody's going to agree. I'll take that back. I hope everybody doesn't agree because if you have that, then you can't get anywhere in sports, period, in conversation and things of that nature. But yeah, man, Georgia sports could have been a bad weekend. Could have been a terrible weekend. But shouts out again, Atlanta United picking that up. on Saturday night, and then again the Hawks picking that up last night. And Georgia Tech Saturday, early Saturday, man, putting that thing down when it was needed, right? Beat Miami, man. Tough squad there. Tough squad. Again, 95 passing yards, but when you can run that thing, when you have some exotic run plays that you can pull off, that's what's gonna happen, man. That's what's gonna happen. So shouts out y'all, everybody who watched. It is Wednesday, November 13th. I hope everybody has a great rest of their week. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the sports that are going on. Big weekend in football coming up, obviously, and the NBA season is just getting popping, man. It's just getting popping. So again, you guys, I appreciate y'all. You guys, again, you've been watching Georgia Sports Central by way of IE Sports Radio, your direct path and place to find all things out of sports. It's your boy ACS, and you've been watching Georgia Sports Central. Again, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Hopefully things look better as far as the Falcons are concerned and Georgia are concerned. But obviously, I'll be here regardless to give y'all the news and let y'all know whether or not I need to chastise them teams. Sometimes the fans need to chastise the teams, bro. I don't make the rules. Sometimes we just need to, man. Right? Sometimes they need to. You spend money on merch, you spend money on tickets, you're allowed to chastise the team when they mess up, man. Right? So again, see you guys next week, and peace out.